Now at 6 a.m., a water main break floods a local neighborhood. Plus, a crime spree involving a shooting, a robbery, and several carjackings, what we're learning this morning.
My wife didn't realize that ours were already expired over 15 years. She was crying when I got home.
Your passport is expired, maybe? The city is making things easier before your next trip.
And what we're seeing outside is another cool day across the coast, but we're going to keep the warm-up going inland. We'll talk more about the dramatic warm-up that we'll see into next week coming up.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Take a look at this. We begin with some new video in from overnight. A water main break sent water shooting into the air. This is in Escondido. It all started just after 11 last night on Encino Drive, south of 17th. As you can see, the street became flooded. Look what firefighters were up against there. Not clear if any homes were flooded, but it did make it onto someone's driveway in the area. We are working to gather more information, and we will keep you updated just as soon as we learn more. Thank you so much for joining us. It is 6 a.m. on this Thursday. Yeah, don't worry. I volunteered for this shift. I'm Heather Myers in for Eric Connor.
And I'm Dana Marie McNichol filling in for Netta Arampur. You're waking up with us this morning. Our top story is a man and a woman accused of going on a crime spree. They are under arrest.
And police say they shot a person, robbed a smoke shop at gunpoint, carjacked several people. CBS 8's Chris Grow live outside police headquarters to explain how this all started and then came to an end here, Chris.
Yeah, from one end of the county to the other, with a host of crimes committed in between. We start in Imperial Beach, where just after 5 p.m. reports came in that somebody was shot on Loudon Street there. And when officers arrived, they did not find those that were responsible. However, they did learn that they were potentially driving a stolen BMW that was reported stolen on July 3rd. Well, thanks to some pretty key communication between law enforcement agencies, deputies actually were able to see that that same vehicle was reported fleeing a scene where someone shot at a home on Coben Street in Valencia Park. Thankfully, no one was hurt there. Then another report came in that that same shooter and an accomplice robbed a smoke shop in El Cajon. They fired at the shop owner but did not hit them. They then crashed a stolen car and stole another. In fact, in total, police say 3 cars were stolen during this entire saga. Now, the reason why it ended up in North County, well, that's where the two were actually apprehended in a parking lot in Encinitas. They eventually did surrender to San Diego County Sheriff deputies. Now, the big question is, who are they and what charges will they be facing? Likely a long list of felonies. Now, as for the person that was shot, we understand they were taken to the hospital, and we're still waiting also to find out what their status is. So while we know a lot about what they did, there are still a lot of unanswered questions at this hour right now at 6 o'clock in the morning. We are waiting for updates, and as soon as we get them, we will be sure to bring them to you. Heather and Dana Marie.
Chris, thank you for the update. This morning, a San Diego man has died from an apparent heat illness at Death Valley National Park. The National Park Service says a 65-year-old was found in his car Monday morning. Authorities say his car was working, but the air conditioning was not. The high temperature on Sunday was 126 degrees, and overnight the temp was 98. Death Valley is known to be one of the hottest places on the planet. A man is dead after a portion of a large tree fell on him. Officials say it happened about 11 o'clock yesterday morning on Altozano Drive in El Cajon, a neighborhood just a little west of Chaparral High School. We're told that the man fell while cutting down a large tree on his property and sadly died on scene. Man accused of killing his roommate set to appear in court today. Officers found the 58-year-old victim suffering from stab wounds in North Park Sunday night. 39-year-old Jonathan Camp was arrested. Officials believe Camp lived in the residence with his father and the victim. It's not clear what led up to the stabbing, but police say there may have been an ongoing dispute about the living situation.
And today, county leaders, they're launching a new initiative to help homeless veterans. It's called Leave No Veteran Homeless. Officials say our region is already successful in helping these veterans. According to the Regional Task Force on Homelessness, the number of homeless veterans dropped 35% from 2020 to 2022. County leaders say they've developed a more comprehensive and upright approach. Officials will announce more details later this morning. And the city of San Diego opened a new safe sleeping site in Golden Hill last week, but this morning people say the city is not really delivering on all of its promises. Some say the city wasn't ready to open. One person says the city is providing little to no counseling to help them improve their situation. And there are still no showers, no laundry, and the bathroom problem also at the site.
There was no water in the porta potties, so if somebody used it, it was just there, stacking up.
Well, of course, that's not sanitary. The city director of communications says mobile showers come to the site. Laundry is off-site but accessible to those clients. The site initially accommodated 10 residents, and it has since grown to house 19 individuals in 13 tents. The city plans to expand the facility to 136 tents.
Later today, the San Diego Police Department will be holding a community meeting on the use of their body-worn cameras. This is in an effort to comply with the city's surveillance ordinance to bring more transparency and accountability to the department. They will be asking for community feedback, and the public will be able to comment on some of the technologies used. Meanwhile, the Sheriff's Department says changes are happening inside San Diego County jails. The department has faced criticism over the number of in-custody deaths. San Diego County Sheriff Kelly Martinez just announced advancements in their processes to streamline operations. She says millions have been invested in technology. The department has upgraded the camera system, and deputies in the jails now wear body-worn cameras. Martinez also says there is an effort being made to keep drugs from entering the jails.
People who come into our custody are not always in the best of medical and mental health conditions, so that's really our focus. I did, however, have oversight and authority over our homicide team that did take that case to the DA's office. So if there's staff that are culpable in any of the deaths that occur in our facility, we will hold people accountable.
So far this year, there have been 8 in-custody deaths inside San Diego County jails.
And this morning, the city of San Diego says it's making progress on streetlight repairs, but there's still a long way to go. So far, crews have fixed more than 400 lights. Councilmember Stephen Whitburn says they're working to make downtown feel safer for those who live here and those visiting. Whitburn says one problem they're dealing with is that people experiencing homelessness use those streetlights as power outlets.
They have pulled out the wiring and they've connected various appliances and such to that wiring. In some cases, microwaves, other times it's cell phones. And that is not only dangerous to the individual, but it causes these lights to go out.
Now, to stop that from happening, Whitburn says the city is now placing lock boxes on streetlight poles. About 6,000 streetlights still need to be fixed. Officials say by the end of the summer, 600 more of those lights will be repaired. And the first full day of San Diego Comic-Con is exactly 2 weeks away from today. Here is the clock countdown. And this morning, we are expected the official schedule to be released. Right now, major studios are skipping the famous Hall H, which people usually camp out for. It's such a big part of the Comic-Con experience. It comes amid writers' strikes and also a possible actors' strike. Actors have extended negotiations to next week, but directors already reached a deal with studios, so they are set to attend the convention. A panel called Directors on Directing has already been announced for Hall H. We'll have to wait and see today what other panels will be held. And this morning, we are getting a look at the limited edition chocolate bars that will be sold during Comic-Con. The names include Crop Circle Crunch, Ooh Bay Lunchbox, Hero, and Cosplay Crackle. Chocolate bars started being sold inside the convention center in 2016 as an exclusive for Comic-Con attendees. It's now became a tasty tradition and probably a collectibles item as well.
Think we could get
I
one?
haven't seen those before.
I'd like to try them out.
I think we should order some for
I
you
was
right
gonna
here.
say,
Live
do we
TV.
have a connection in Comic-Con? Is there someone we can call?
Guys, I think Chris Crow is going to be inside on Thursday.
We'll just have him scouted out.
Yeah, we'll have him
wander
get his
around.
chocolate ball
We will not
bars.
let Chris out of the convention center.
Have you guys heard of a YouTuber called Mr. Beast?
No.
Yes, he's been all over social media recently. 'cause
Okay, so he has chocolate bars too,
Oh,
which
okay,
are
okay.
highly sought after by young people.
Should we make chocolate bars?
I think
Is anyone
there's
gonna
a whole
buy them?
business
a
in this.
CBSA chocolate bar. You
No,
can start giving
no
out.
one would buy them. We would
That's
just eat
how
them
we're
all
working for
ourselves.
you. I try to think I have like my finger on the pulse of like the Gen Z culture. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm trying my
So,
best.
yeah.
You know, it's like I'm a millennial at heart, and I think I always
Yeah.
will be. So it's tough for me to finally come to terms with the fact that I am not a Gen Zer.
When I can tell you what's going on.
That you can, because you're kids.
Yeah.
It's truly amazing. I know, like it's how it's going now. I am old now.
Oh, stop.
Clock is hitting 6:10 right now, and take a look at what we've got outside for the forecast. 70s along the coast, meaning we're still in that cooler than average range. We have been for weeks on end. Average is 74 along the coast. Last several days, we've only made it to about 72 degrees, so still comfortable by all means. Enjoy it. However, as you move farther east, you start to climb into the 80s. 82 for your inland valleys, 84 for the mountains. Out in the deserts, 107 degrees. Let's take a look at what we've got outside. Sunrise already happened. So that was about 20 minutes ago. We have a beautiful view from San Miguel. Pretty soon we'll be able to make out the Sweetwater Reservoir, but for now, that marine layer is present. Not quite patchy as of the 6 o'clock hour, but it will become patchy in the next couple hours, especially off toward your western valleys, before breaking apart even along the coast, closer to 10, 11 a.m. It'll take some time, but we're doing all right. So far, our view on satellite radar, we've had some trouble incorporating the entirety of it, but you can see how we are seeing those clouds extend from your coast to your inland valleys. 50 degrees right now as you walk out the door in Ramona. Good morning. You might want a jacket with you, or at least a sweater. 52 in Alpine, 57 right now in Poway, 59 in Del Mar. When you compare these temperatures to 24 hours ago, most spots are showing that we're a bit cooler, but Ramona's 6 degrees warmer. Alpine, El Cajon, La Mesa, Chula Vista, they're all just a hair cooler though than 24 hours ago. Still a lot of people getting to the coast, 2 to 4 foot waves out there. That water temperature is 64 degrees. That's part of the reason why the coast is staying cool, because that sea breeze, well, it's a cool sea breeze, and that risk of rip currents remains moderate. Let's take a look at your border wait times as you head out the door. So far, things are looking pretty good out there. Yesterday were seeing very, very slow wait times. Still quite slow in the San Ysidro port of entry. You're looking at about a 90-minute wait. Otay Mesa, an hour 10. So yes, slow out there, but improved in some cases from yesterday. And if you cross the border regularly, you could win some money as well. That's if you answer a survey. Sandag and Caltrans are trying to develop a better way to measure border wait times. They're doing a survey through July 31st. Participants could win $50. Several winners are supposed to be selected. We have a link under the help button at CBS8.com if you want to fill out that survey and win some money.
All right, thank you so much, Evan. Still ahead, our planet continues to shatter heat records.
Plus, while you are at the beach this summer, rip currents are always a possibility. Our team is verifying the best ways to keep you safe. And Twitter has some competition this morning. How to sign up for the newest social media app.